Sorry.
Expecting you to play last round, what happened?
Yeah, I just had a bit of a tight hammy, so I think it's the smart thing to do would just to make sure it was right, not risk it. We've got some really good depth, and it was a smart decision. So nothing too strenuous, too much to worry about. But I'm just getting old.
Confident you've overcome?
Yeah, I'm all good. I had a big hit out the same day. The boys played the Saints, and we had a bit of a run around on Friday, bit of match practice and that. So I know I was fine. So I'm looking forward to getting back out there. It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, like it's been a bit, what's that, stop-start for you. Has that been tough on the sideline to watch it?
I battle to watch. My heart's going. It's like I was talking to the boys about the other day. It's a bit like when you've got turbulence on an aeroplane. You can't control anything, sitting in the grandstand, and the palms are sweaty and heart rate's going. But definitely rather be out there. But at the same time, it's been good. I've still been able to get a fair bit of training in, and looking forward to hopefully be back this week.
Big match to come back for too.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's obviously a big game. We get to play at the Gabba and against Collingwood, who are going well and are a good team. So the boys looking forward to it.
Is this the year you knock them off?
Oh, let's hope so. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, but as I said, they're in good form. They had a good win on the weekend and playing good footy. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but one the boys are looking forward to.
What have you learned from the big matches in the last 12 months where you've just fallen short? The finals here, the Easter Thursday, a couple of others this year. What do you think you've learned from those that you can apply this week?
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle in regards to what you've got to do in those games, but the closest you can get to playing your best footy, and I suppose standing up in the bigger moments and is something that we've learned along the journey. So that'll be no different. It's no different in any game, though, to be honest. We've had some big games already this year against some really quality teams, and there's another one this weekend.
Did you think this group has benefited from the Easter Thursday games, the two finals here, big games, didn't get across the line? Have you learned lessons out of that?
Yeah, I think that's a really big strength of our group is the guys, they learn from any situation, whether it's good or bad, and really take that into what's next. Such a young group and group that's emerging together, that they really thrive off those learning opportunities, and hopefully we can take that into to what's to come.
Anything you can put your finger on?
I kind of mentioned it before. It's about a lot of it's to do with the moments and flows of the game, and just being able to, I suppose, adapt in certain situations during a game. Where in the past it's probably taken a little bit longer than it might have should have. So learning to pull the trigger on certain things a bit earlier is one of the things. Yeah.
Talking of big games, the whispers just keep growing louder and louder that this place is going to be hosting certainly finals, possibly even a grand final. How are you guys handling that expectation internally? I mean, there's lots of talk outside, but how are you guys dealing with that sort of thing?
We're not really. I suppose it'd be fantastic for Queensland and Queensland footy to be able to, I suppose, have that. But at the same time, it's a long way off, and we've got a lot of things to do before it even gets close to that. We've still got 4 games to go, and that's our focus as players, and that's the way it is all the time, to be honest. So it's an exciting thing that we're even in the equation. We obviously know it's been in Melbourne for as long as I can remember. So it's something that the AFL and the states are obviously figuring out at the moment. But as players and coaches and all that, you just focus on next game. As mundane as it might sound, that's the way it is.
Would it be a case of sort of embracing the expectation level that would come with being home state finals and all that stuff?
You embrace anything really. It's you're thrown in situations, and it's just about adapting to those. Whatever. It's been one of those years where we didn't know the fixture and all that. There's been so many things thrown at the group, but in a way that's the exciting part of it. And it's the old cliche, 1 week at a time. That's generally how it is in the current day and age.
Richie, can you put into words for Queensland, let's just call it punters, that to have a grand final, AFL grand final here, can you even describe what that would mean and how big that is?
Yeah,
Regardless of who's playing.
Yeah, I think it's not so much about the game. I think with grand finals, it's the build-up, it's the the whole kit and caboodle that kind of comes with it. So for Queensland, I've seen it massively since my first day here to how it is now. Queensland footy is fantastic and it's growing. We go to schools and club visits and all that kind of stuff, and you see the game growing and growing. So I think it would be another dimension, but that's obviously not locked in yet.
You mentioned it's never been out of Victoria, so wherever it's going to be played, they'll be talking about this year, this grand final for decades. The one that was played outside of.
It's one of those years, isn't it, where things are different, but it'll be a bit of a different historic event in a way, especially in Australia. AFL's so big throughout the whole nation, so it'll be something that will definitely be spoken about for a while, I'd imagine.
Have you? I mean, you're one of the older blokes within the group who's been around for a while. How have you found this year and just the oddness and the differences of this year? Has it kind of refreshed things a little bit for you? Because I mean, you go through the same processes normally, but it's been turned upside down often this season.
Yeah, it's been a funny one. Obviously, every year's got you kind of locked into who you're going to play, where, when, but it's kind of just been a bit of in a way, a bit of a breath of fresh air. To be honest, it's a lot of differences of a lot of unknowns, and that's the silver lining out of it. It's a bit of a change up to what typically you're going to be doing for the next 20 odd weeks. So you take positives out of any situation, and for me it's been a different year, and something that'll hopefully never have to happen again from the situation and circumstances we're in. But there's positives to everything. Yeah.
Have you had a chance to sit down and think long term how many more seasons of footy you've got left in you?
It's not really, I suppose, something you plan out, but I still think I'm playing reasonably good footy, and I'm really enjoying my time playing footy. It's, hopefully I can hang around for a few more years to come at least, and jump on the back of the young guys and have some fun and experience some good times. But it's something that'll take care of itself, I think, with the manager and club and all that kind of stuff in hopefully years to come.
Got any advice for the boys up front about how to get it through those big ones rather than ones on the other side?
I'll back them up all day long. They put a lot of work in, and to be honest, it's easy to sit back and criticise and that, but it's something that I can see them putting the hard work in, and I'll be the first one to pat them on the back, but also the first one to stir them up as well. So especially being down the other end, we stir each other up a bit, but in all seriousness, they're doing the work, and I'm the first one to back those guys in.
Do you try and focus on the positive? The positive, I guess, is that you're creating the chances, and when it does click, you're going to be very, very hard to beat.
Yeah.
The amount of scoring opportunities you are creating.
Yeah, exactly. I think specific an example is I was sitting in the grandstand, but watching some of the stuff Eric did last week was away from his goal kicking was fabulous. So that stuff's valued just as highly as putting him through the sticks. I know he's seen as a forward who's got to finish his work, but you're spot on. At least he's creating a lot of big contests and giving himself the best chance to have those shots at goals. That's the first and most important thing. Yeah.
So it's just like a sort of mental thing for him, just especially the people talking about all the time.
Oh, I can't speak on behalf of what exactly it is, but I can definitely tell you those boys are getting the work in and doing everything they can to put themselves in the best spot and best prep for I suppose kicking goals game day. Yeah.
Hey Richard, can I just ask you, this is one out of left field, but North Melbourne, West Coast, they're playing round 18. It was going to be in Tassie. Now North Melbourne said, we'll take it to Perth. They get the gate, but it kind of hands West Coast the home ground advantage and stuff like that, and that could have top 4 ramifications. Is there a thought that they've almost sort of handed West Coast that top 4 spot?
Oh, I don't think so. I think the way, I can only speak for ourselves, but the attitude of anywhere, anytime, doesn't really matter where you're playing. Yes, they don't have to get on a plane, but that's the way it works in footy. You got to perform anywhere, but we kind of got to take care of what we need to do, and the rest will kind of take care of itself, to be honest. But it's a handy little extra for them.